everybody, welcome back. So where we left off, and I forgot to put this in the list here, we wanted to do a heat shielding city block. And I forget if there was something else. I know we still want to do blue belts. So we're going to try to get into that. The goal, again, being that on the space platform, we just keep running out of materials for both scaffolding and for mirrors. And those are both going to be pretty important. I think that once we have those things, we can hopefully start to really think about getting onto another planet here. Now, let's take a look at so this massive line of this is comical looking back at this. The things they use to build cargo rocket sections, which are, so you need RCUs, LDS, those two things, and heat shielding. I forget what they are and how they're made, so let's take a look. So it takes, you know what? So this is all, except the red circuits, this is all pretty easy. And then where was the other thing made? There it is. This is also red circuits and blue inserters. So we got to figure out how we're going to move cargo rocket sections around. Are we going to launch, you know, red circuits and blue inserters up and then use it to make these up there? Are we going to do it down here? I mean, definitely kind of feels like something you want to do down here. I don't know how well they stack. It might be more efficient to stack them and then turn them into cargo rocket sections on the space platform. I don't know. Or, of course, we just send our rocket directly to whatever planet we're trying to get to. So I don't know why. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I'm overthinking this, almost definitely. So, anyway, let's go get about that heat shielding setup. We'll copy it later. Of course, last episode we finally got stops up for, where am I looking here? One's up here. We should have dropped a radar there, but we got stops up for, yes, we did engines because we were going to do blue belts, and that all kind of got put on hold for now. Oil. We did oil. And we have two oil stops coming in. One is where I just showed you, and the other one is right here. And yep, that's filling up nice. And we talked about doing oil processing because in order to do heat shielding, we're going to need sulfur. And I really don't want to hook up this pathetic sulfur belt to a train stop. So I think we're going to start thinking about oil processing. Now recall that there is an area up here that seems to really lend itself to oil processing, in my humble opinion. So you have an oil field here of about, you have 7 puddles of oil here, right? And if you tried to lay out a city block on top of them, you would collide. And it happens to be on the center intersection, which means that it effectively takes out 4 city blocks worth of being able to put them there. That's fine. We could build over it. It's only 6, but I figure this seems like a pretty nice place to do kind of a oil processing super center. Now, if we did that, I'm going to just try to eyeball this. That was like there. We have enough room here with minimal landfill consumption to do the 4x4 now. and, excuse me, 2x2, meaning we just take and make this entire area be oil production. And I don't see why we wouldn't do that. That'll give us a ton of room. You'll have 8 train stops, which should be enough. I forget the total output. I mean, the outputs, you're going to need an input of iron plates for, well, you don't even have to do sulfuric acid on site. That could be its own thing. So we're going to output really just sulfur, right? Because it doesn't require anything but water, but we're going to need water coming in, or we could just pump it right there. Why waste a train stop if you have water right here? Why did none of my guns fire? How are we doing on a steam battery? We should have had enough power for that. What happened? Okay. Must have been 2 in a row or something. So yeah, if we did a 2x2 here, or 4 quadrants, not quadrants, but just 4 squares, then we would need obviously crude in. We have water being pumped right offshore there. We have sulfur that we'd be making there. We would also be making, I don't think anything else here really requires too much input. So we could also make, obviously, heavy oil, light oil, lubricant. And that would only chew up. We could also do solid fuel and jet fuel, right? And get this silliness out of here. We could do both of those things, or solid rocket fuel, not jet fuel. We could do all that. Trying to think, is there anything else? I think that's it. Or we could just do petroleum, right? And ship that in to here. Yeah, you know what? I think I might just do petroleum and sulfur. Maybe it's their own city blocks here for now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to do this undertaking right now. So we're just gonna, I think we're just gonna do petroleum and sulfur. How are we doing? How much are we burning over at the drop-off here? I mean, these seem pretty full. Doesn't seem like we're going through it that fast. How well is this filling up? Seems to be pretty slow. Although, I mean, it's way smaller than... It's also got productivity modules on it, right? And then this one, I can't tell. Let's go throw a radar on that real quick. Yeah, this one, I mean, you have a yield of 3,100 total-ish. It's more than double. It's just, thought it would have been more full by now. So yeah, I think we, maybe we just do petroleum. I can't decide about this. You know, maybe this actually would be a better sort of excuse for a cargo rocket area. Whatever it is, I think you'd want to do like 4 related squares because you lose some stops. Of course, you could always add additional ones further into the squares, especially if you had 2x2 here. Let's just pick something and do it. So we hooked up here. Yeah, I guess we could either go up this way. Can't. Let's try to keep this away from the edges, I guess. Nothing like watching some trees get cut down in bulk. It's beautiful. Alright, so all those bots are flying to do that. And then we can think about how we want to do processing. Now, what I'm thinking about doing, instead of dealing with all the headache, why am I having a hard time finding this? Because right here. Maybe just do the basic refining instead of going through the advanced processing loop. There was a comment that might be more efficient. I think when you factor in, I don't know what the breakdown is here. You have, for the same amount of crude, it looks like you'd get more, but it's just so much extra work to keep track of it. And it's probably more power too. It's, although, wait a minute, aren't there? Yeah, there's 2 different kinds. I forget, I think we went with this one. I can't remember. I think I'm just going to use this. Although 5 seconds, that's a while. I wonder if I pick one, do I have to filter every one of these trees in order to get it to... Oh, there's a checkbox. There we go. Have at it. Oh yeah, this is going to drive our pollution up a bit. I probably shouldn't have picked this square. You know what? Okay, I regret my decisions. We're going to cut the damage. You can still build the city blocks. The train tracks don't take up a ton of it. We're going to build out here. When we get the biters further away, we can kill all those trees. But for now... Yeah, this is much better. And of course... let's... That connects there. That whole stretch of power line is unneeded at this point. All right, let's do... There we go. We still got this on our clipboard. And then... I thought I could place a ghost if I... Oh, if I click this, I can. All right, I can't resist. I have to do the math. Here we go. So this you get 90%. And this one, let's just get so let's do some quick. So you get 2/3 of light oil, and you get 3/4 of heavy oil. So looking back at these two, heavy oil 3/4 is 15 light oil. Now you've got 85 light oil. 2/3 of 85 is what is that, like 28 or something like that times 2. It's like 56 plus 30. So this nets out not as good as this, but it's and it's just as slow rather. And then let's look at this one. So we said 3/4 of heavy oil, 1/4 of 70 would be what is that, like 17.5. So 3/4 is 52.5. Light oil is, so you have 52.5 plus 30 is 82.5. And again, this is just not gonna, 2/3 of that is gonna be plus 20 petroleum gas is not gonna beat this. So we're just gonna do this. Or if it did, it'd be so close that who cares, right? And of course, we'll use our new productivity module powers. I forget which one this is going to be, like which side it's going to be. So we'll hold off on that for a minute. Let's go worry about the pickup spot, right? Probably easier to do one of these side ones. Let's see. I'm gonna have to fix this up a bit. By fix it up, I'm referring to this. There we go. It's kind of a different way that I did it here. Probably a better way, honestly, than what we just did at this one. Now, interestingly, we only have one oil train, and this thing, because it has no circuitry, is totally gonna keep filling it up and topping it off and preventing it from coming here depending on where it went. So we're gonna need to fix that. Let's go ahead and wire this one to fix that error. I wonder if this pumping is strictly necessary here. That's kind of a little wonky to me. I don't know. Enable, disable. We're going to say the oil signal. We have 200,000 units of oil storage there. If we have less than, say, 50. Well, how much comes on a train again? I think each one is a tank. All right. We get 4 of them, so it's 100,000. So if we drop below 100,000, I want another 100,000. Right. And then let's see if we can get away with doing, because we did copy it from that other one, so we should get away with this. Right, and just copy that. That did work, and now we just need to, we could have copied the whole thing, I guess, but yeah. And that should be, yeah, disabled by control behavior. So now this station that we're standing by here should get a drop off soon. Oh, hey, look. We need water and oil. That was one of the other, I guess we'll have to do water tanks coming in, unless we want to pipe it in. I don't necessarily see the issue with just piping it in from elsewhere, right? This is where I get a little precious about my designs here, because I'm like, well, everything should be a city block. That purism is the enemy for me. It hurts. It definitely sets me back. Come on, oh, okay. So we're gonna try to be not precious about it. What does it take to make an offshore pump? I just need a couple electric motors. Whoopsie. I think I messed up a bit here. Not sure the best place to put this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to clear that. It's one downside to these intersections that I didn't quite anticipate. Just don't really have any spots to put it. No, no. Maybe, see, because what I'm afraid of is this right here. So right above here, we could do like a little bend and go through. Let's do it from this side, actually. So if this was coming through here, we went under and then over. I don't know. Oh, so close. Oh no. Okay, this is good actually that they're getting here now. I want to be able to see what I'm going to collide with. This is gross. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I don't see how you get away without encroaching on the block a bit, right? And going like this. No, I don't think that's happening. And that's okay, right? This is part of the pain of not bringing it in by, yeah, it's got a rail signal in it. So let's just... We're 2 off of there. That's where the elbow goes. Okay. So now, can we please go back about our business? I don't know if this is a bad idea or not, but we're going to find out. Oh, here we go, round 2. Let's see how much I can get of this without... Interesting that we're still waiting on these. Wonder what's going on. And oh, wait a minute. Wonder if they're not hooked up to provider chests. We never really used them before like this, right? They, yeah. Goofy. There you go. Now a bunch of bots should come. There we go. Alright. Got a meteor fall here. Okay. Gonna have a slight spacing issue here if we don't move this. Let's push it up a little bit. Oh. Wrong target. Okay, so. Oh no. What did I... There we go. Okay, so this one right here happens to line up perfectly, so we'll fill them like that. And then this. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Okay. There we go. Let's go look at the outputs. So it's the rightmost pipe. We can just do one of these. No, just cut these off, avoid any accidental hookups, although this one right here, I think we're gonna wanna hook up to this. And let's think about power. Whoopsie. This is not oil pickup. This is petroleum gas pickup. Whoa. Wow, that's a lot of damage real fast. Oh my goodness. What is attacking me? Kind of afraid to go over here. Where? Oh, it must be the... Alright. Ah. Okay. Let's, got another one down there I gotta take care of. Okay, hopefully that's it for now, right? Just take care of these and then... Where is this coming from? This is crazy. They're so fast. How does that keep happening? I must be hitting the hotkey for the furnace by accident. See, this is where I get tempted to do stupid things, but I mustn't. So what I'm tempted to do, because this is getting on my nerves a bit, I mean, we could just wall off here. We're not going to be expanding past there anytime soon. Let's do that. We could use this crude maybe to... I don't know. Let's put a task. Oh. Put a task to, wall off northeast. Before we, climb into a rocket. Look at the beautiful green, healthy tinge that the water is starting to take on here. See, that's, I think that's algae, right? It's just you know, lots of life in there. See all the fish? Okay, so this is cool and all, but it's definitely not fast enough. So what we need to do now is go ahead and just repeat ourselves a bit. Before we do, maybe we go ahead and... I shouldn't have cut those off yet. I don't want to go too much further to the left. I guess on this one I can down here, but when we get up there... Okay. Then we can just copy paste that entire battery. Before we do, now we should cut this off. And then, of course, we are out of elbows. We might have used up all of our elbows at this point. What's going on here? No, we didn't. Where are my bots, guys? Okay, looks like they're on the way. Yeah, we got lots of pipes coming up. Looks like they're coming out of storage. Oh yeah, that's right. Productivity modules. What for increasing the power consumption and slowing it down? Then I think when we do advanced oil processing, we'll do it maybe right here, and we'll just bring the petroleum right across the tracks here. At least that's what I'm thinking. Okay. I don't think we need to do advanced processing yet, though. I think we should be... I'm just waiting for these to get put down so I can put productivity modules in them. Okay, one more, please. There we go. There we go. And when these two elbows get placed, this will be back online. And I think now it's time to think about sulfur, which... You know, I'm kind of thinking I might need to give up my tick of not building over any resources ever. Although, I mean, how much is in there? So, 236k, if I had... So this thing has 512 storage. Each stack would be 50. 512 by 50. Half would be 256. Times 100. 25,600, right? So you would only need less than 10 to store the entire contents of that. And that could be kind of like a... Yeah, I think I might do that. And then just truck it somewhere. I don't know. Not truck. I don't have trucks in this mod. There's a mod that adds those. It's weird. Here we go. Look at this beautiful oil getting burnt into petroleum. We love this. Then we said sulfur and heat shielding. Now we could do sulfur in here, but I'd like to do it in its own block. It should not be necessary though to make a train run for it, so we can at least say, oh, there's copper there, I can't build there. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, that's in a new spot. We're just getting pummeled. Oh, they're so fast. They are mad. Oh, look at that. Listen to that music. You guys. I am almost out of ammo. Where is it? It's happening up there, it looks like. Hey guys. Just hung out with some of your friends. Got a little awkward for a minute there. Was thinking maybe we could talk it through. That's right, you get those rocks. You get them. You show them. Jerks. Okay, any other trouble going on? It looks like... No, that's okay. Alright, let's go get ammo before... Actually, no, I have another full stack. What's wrong with me? Let's go ahead and... Got a nest there we should get rid of. Couple there. Wait a minute. Wait. So where's my body? Why is it not showing up on the map? That was really weird. I must have had one of the map flips off. Yeah, tags. There we go. Well, that was annoying. Oh, hey. I remember to put that gun back. Up here and over here. And we'll check this as well. Got a couple little expansions that we could take out carefully. Don't want to get... That's where very bad things happened. One round. I've only save scummed once, and I don't intend to do it again. And that, again, I'm just going to reiterate, I really didn't seriously think what I was doing was a good idea. Do I not have my shield on? Oh, I must not have switched my armor. Let's go ahead and eat the medkit of shame. There we go. Drive by. Are you just gonna fight the trees? All right, that was pretty effective, I think. Start thinking about using the tank again soon. Okay, I forget what I was doing entirely before that happened, so I remember why I turned map tags off, that's right. I think we were going to do sulfur next. Just want to make sure that everything's flowing here. It looks like every building got replaced. The only one that we don't have output on is this, and that entire belt is full of miners that can't mine anymore. Which is an interesting point, actually. How much... That is our primary stone supply, and it is hurting. So... we're at 500k, but we need to think about expanding soon. Thankfully, got a nice big fat one right there. All sorts of options here. We're okay. In the meantime... So I know I said we would do advanced here, but the more I think about it, I feel like when we do go to do advanced, we'll probably do it up here. It's a lot of pollution that eats up. We might want to think about walling off. I know we have it in our to-do list, but it'd just be nice to cover this and maybe draw some lines around where I mostly want to expand to the south here. Looks like we might have a problem there. I'm guessing that we're getting pounded on. Let's see if we can get another radar going. How's the platform doing in terms of mirrors? Okay, that thing is full. And we have lots of heat shielding up there now. How's this base doing for heat shielding? Not full. So if we put down more, oh yeah, no, not at all. I was gonna say, maybe we get a batch of this going, like just put another one of these here. Is this thing inside of a... It's inside of a roboport area, so we can totally do this, assuming that... Yeah, we don't have one of those up there is the problem. Yeah, 2 entities are missing the materials for construction. A couple of options for what to do there. Yeah. Let's kill it for now. Oh, I want nuclear pretty badly. Covarex, where are you? So if we do sulfur here, kind of thinking send a train over here, build a little outpost. Maybe right around this copper, actually. Like, just build a little train stop and with walls and everything, and then we could send this Mighty Bitey Express over here, V2, over to, you know, do some relations management. And we could bring the train tracks right up through this. This would be a minimal amount of landfill down here to fill in. I feel like we might want to do that sooner rather than later. Although the fact that they're running, they never come this way. Although that might be because this is the thing that polluted that made them mad. They always seem to go up and around. So if we wall off, that might be sufficient. All right. Sulfur's made at chemical plants. So we should have some of those on us. lay chemical plants. Come on, guys. What? I can't even find it over here. We don't have any. Okay. That's why. See? I'm not crazy. It's not me. It's you. Now, we should build this in a way that accounts for the idea that there might be a train station here next time. So let's give ourselves some space to breathe here. Remember, we don't need to get the most out of every unit of space here. We can always just plop down more city blocks if we need them. But now, let's look at sulfur. Sulfur production. Why can I not? I'm having a really hard time finding this stuff tonight. So, it gets made in 1 second, and it makes 2 of it. So, 2 a second. A belt can hold, we've been through this before, a red belt can hold 15 on each lane. Hopefully we're going to be doing blue soon, so let's plan for blue. 22.5 on each lane. So 11 of these on each side for each blue belt, right? At least that's my thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So forget that. And then let's, nope, can't flip it. Have to rotate. Rotating only here. Do I have bots coming to do my bidding, please? I'm a little concerned because I feel like I'm not being obeyed even though there's a chest full of chemical plants right there. Oh, I see. Here they go. Yeah, make sure you ask the furthest bots away possible to come get it, please. Yeah, that's great. Good job, guys. Hopefully you don't get shot when you get here. Anyway. Let's go look at where the sulfur, what the inputs and outputs are on one of our existing ones since we don't have one to put down and see yet. Water on the right of the input side. And petroleum on the left, and output is a solid item. So, I mean, I guess I didn't need to know that to start building this, but this will be. That doesn't work. I didn't give enough room. Now, it's important to remember we didn't flip these chemical plants. We rotated them 180 degrees because you can't flip them. So if we want to maintain our positioning, we need to do that. And we do want to do that because then I think what we could do on the next one is copy paste that entire thing and paste it like right there. I think that'd be pretty cool. In the meantime, you know what? Let's go this way. Because this is a nice amount of room for a train station as well. Okay, now, no inserters on the input side, so really we can hit the entire thing just in these centers here. Except we need one more. Okay. Then go ahead and borrow some water here, guys. In fact, so that one right there is water. Let's go to, no. Let's not just go down there. One sec. Just in case we need to, we're gonna paste this down further. I know we won't use all these, but I want the spacing to be right. Let's see, I think we got it all, right? Theoretically, that should just start cranking out sulfur. Let's go grab ourselves a solid pickup station. Okay. I think that we have everything we need. Just have to wait for that to get built to rename it. Then we'll have a sulfur pickup. We'll need a sulfur drop off. And then we should be good to go ahead. And let's just refresh our memory. We should be good at that point to make heat shielding in a city block. We're going to need, looks like 3 inputs, 1 output. So that's perfect. And then I think all of our problems are solved and we can live happily ever after. So I am going to call this episode soon. We just crossed the hour mark-ish, depending on editing. I have a little bit of I'm a little behind on videos right now, but I still want to maintain a daily cadence, at least for now. So initially my daily videos were airing on the hour and 40 to 2 hours side-ish. When I'm trying to catch up, I don't want to call it impossible, but it's very taxing. So, and I think that it's more fun to do videos just, you know, more rapid fire and have them be a little bit shorter when we need to. So what we're going to do is get some uranium and go kill more biters as the sort of what's missing. What's going on? What's this all about? What is this complaining about? What happened? What? Now what? Now, interestingly, these guns haven't shot in forever. So that's not hurting us. Let's go get some pipes. Maybe we'll take the tank out. I can't decide. I really want to deal with some of those bigger nests. I feel like the tank Really gives me a lot more flexibility in doing that. What really gives me you know what we'll do? Do artillery cannons take they don't have power draw, so I can just go plop one down, defend it. If I bring ammo with me. I don't think that we have minigun turrets on a city block, but it really wouldn't be that hard. We just need small engines. Small engines. Oh, that terminates there. That sucks. Small engines, gear wheels, and plates, right? This is part of why our sulfur is recovered now too, because we maxed out on these. Although we really should probably, well, we're not gonna do any more of that until we get power scaled up. Thankfully, we are well within bounds now on power, and Steam Battery seems to be appreciating it. So yeah, let's get minigun turrets up, because what I'm thinking is minigun turrets, and what does it take to make an artillery? We should probably automate that. I mean, that's really tempting to do that right here. I've got a little steel coming in there. I've got advanced circuits right there. I think we're doing this. Yeah, we'll go a couple more minutes. Now I'm excited. Okay, there's 2 of your ingredients. Concrete and gear wheels are the others. So the main thing is going to be transporting it. I guess we could use the car. Like, getting the artillery shells there is going to be the tricky part. You know what? Yeah, I guess it's tricky to know if we should do artillery automated like this. I'm going to hold off on that, but I am going to go ahead and do minigun turrets, because thinking we could do a little design where we just plop down some walls. Here, let's get some walls and kind of prototype one of these out. And we'll go ahead and use our fancy walls for this. They don't stack as nice, but okay. So first, let's get one of these built. We need concrete and gear wheels. Concrete is readily had down here, and gear wheels should be up here. Okay, so that's on the way. Then minigun turrets, so let's do a splitter here. And then how much gear wheels and iron plates? Let's go ahead and not again, guys. Not again. I'm busy. Oh, they're attacking. Okay, that's fine. I forget why I did this. Probably should have respected it. You know what? Let's not perpetuate our sins. Let's build it up there like we should. Okay, so there's that. Then you just throw down a gear wheel factory, and you throw down a turret factory, because none of this requires power. Then do this, this, that, this, that, this, this. And that. I think those stack at like 50, so let's only do like that. Okay, so we got our artillery cannon, right? I'm gonna put that down. How can we do this best? I feel like we can do like this. Yeah, I like that. Now, of course, we're going to need a bunch of uranium ammo for that. So let's go grab some uranium ammo. That's why I'm not getting refilled here. This was driving. I keep doing this. I forgot. I died. I need to put that back here. Let's go ahead and scrap some of this stuff. Now we have pipes. My goodness, that was like the Dark Ages there. And then let's see. Okay. Should have brought some red ammo with me. That's the toll you're supposed to pay to come over here. But we're okay. I gotta put my gun back, the grappling gun. Okay, and now thinking we just like this, right? Okay, so I just took a day-long break, and I think I remember what I was doing here. Let's, got 8 turrets there. Let's, oh, no, not what I wanted to do. No. Okay. Really want to put only 50 in there. Whatever. Now, I don't know if the blueprint will honor this. I hope so. Okay. And then, of course, we need ammo for that. We'll come back. We'll deal with that in a minute. So Let's save the blueprint. Doesn't look like it cares about the ammo, does it? Could be problematic. Oh, wait. We don't want the bots in the nearby bot network to tear this down. Oh, does that mean I have to do this? Sorry, everybody. Not my finest moment. My driving skills have really improved. Okay. So, I want to go and get artillery ammo. Right? We're almost there. Should have just taken the bus. Oh. Okay. So, can I, what can we do? Come on, let go of me, please. What can we do here to get bullets in my, okay. Getting warmer. Feel like we do this. And then I have an idea for our blueprint. Although it won't easily work without some improv. Alright, that's enough out of you. And I know I should be scaling right now, but this is more fun. I'm in the mood to do this. Let's go figure out... Ow. Ow. Oh, he didn't make it. So that just took that away from me. I feel like we have burner inserters over here. And we're just gonna grab a couple of those. We haven't used these in a while. Now you really know we're going back to basics, right? Oh man. Alright, how do we get out of here? This is not a car friendly city. let's figure out where we're going here. I think the biggest problems we have are up here, so let's go talk to them. This might be a bad idea compared to the train, honestly. I wonder how well this gun does with uranium ammo. Let's swap that out. Oh man. I already feel like this was a bad idea. Although it does shoot pretty quick. In a pinch, right? Seems to shoot faster than my machine gun. Here, let's test it. Yeah, I'd say that works faster. Okay. So. Then where's that burner inserter? Oh, before we do that, we better load up the... Okay. So now we just need to do this. It's stealing fuel away from me. The gun is turning. Oh, here we go. Okay. We are dialed in for some fun now. Oh, yeah. Very inefficient. Let's manually target. That thing is just wasting ammo. Oh. I don't know how this is gonna go, guys. I'm not feeling too good about this. Well, went better than expected, that's for sure. How much we chewed up some ammo there, but that guy really killed that rock though. I don't know how I'm gonna come back from that. Might have to save scum. Alright, time to unload this gun, I think. Actually, I take that back. We have quite a range on us here. We're confident that this works now. Can we, let's hope nothing dies. I out of repair kits? Oh, I sure seem to be. That's not happy. Okay. I feel like we draw this experiment to a close now. We're gonna get hit again here, which is fine. Should hopefully be good to tear this down now. Oh no. Nope, we're not. We gotta leave it up for a minute. Hopefully that's the last last round there. It's a lot of biters. Whoa! I didn't realize there was that much of a puddle there. Ah, it wasn't that much that we just lost. Lost all my bots, though. Wow, I gotta do this manually? See, I really want to get better about the situation that we're in right now, where it's really getting a little tough to scale up because of encroaching biters, expanding biters. I would love to put down just slap down some rails and go shoot artillery at them, but if I do that, they're going to come after me. I'm going to be unprotected. So unless I wall off, I'm going to have serious issues. And maybe that's the answer here. Maybe we just do that and stop wasting our time playing around. So I feel like we wall off, do that heat shielding city block, because I forget where we left off, but I think we were about to do sulfur. Yeah, we just never hooked up the petroleum, it looks like, but that should be imminent, question mark. Yeah, if we just fix this one little issue. Well, two little issues. And then we just gotta load it up. So maybe we start doing that. And in the meantime, let's go grab us some city walls. City walls, just stone walls. I figure, I mean, we have these concrete walls. I just don't know if I want to use them for this. That is a tricky one. I mean, why not? Are they also on provider chests? They are. It would take longer to replenish, but we realistically lose them so seldom that what does it really matter, right? So we'll start using those. The other pain is that they don't stack as nicely. In fact, they stack half as nicely. But that's okay. The initial build out may be a pain though. Alright. So I wonder if we get away with the northeast wall or if we also need to do down here and over here. Probably good to be safe and do all of it, and maybe that too. Or we might be walling ourselves in a bit. We could always push our borders out. The other thing is that we're really going to want RoboPort support for these walls, right? And I always forget. Okay, can't run around this water. So let's just go ahead and do that. And we gotta find a way to hook this up to oil. I guess we can just borrow off the field to the, that supplies the train to the northwest, or we could build out the one that's right to the west of us here. Alright, there's number 1. And then what are we going to do for a pipe here, I guess? Oh, we actually have some right up here. So we can just shoot a pipe down and around. Let's do that. For a second I saw those shadows over the water and I thought I was about to encounter some kind of new bot in this mod pack. I didn't see the bots, I didn't know what they were. It scared me pretty bad. Alright, there we go. I should have stayed in character and shot them. And let's also get... I mean, once we wall this off, we don't really need to worry about these inner walls anymore, so we can recover some of our stuff there. Okay. I think, yeah, you can run through some of this, so... Not this, though. And then we need to put a platform for this. And we need to go tear down some stone walls in order to get enough to populate this with. We don't need that. We will need one of these right here. Let's just go grab new stacks of that. We're out of pipe elbows too. And because we're not making these super fast, we're just going to use some of the old style walls for this. Because why not? kind of stinks. There's a nice looking oil well right there. We can always just branch out with our wells a bit and go grab it. The other thing is roboports. We do actually have a roboport up here. Oh, well, you know what? Let's do that, and then... So we have guns now all the way. Now, for the roboport, what we can do is just connect this network here, like so. Right, and then copy paste this for spacing. And that almost covers it all, but it doesn't. I guess when you drag these, they don't auto power. Oh. Like they don't auto space, and also make sure they power everything, they just auto space. I guess it makes sense. Their purpose isn't really to directly power things, but I always use them for that. So now with that there, this thing already has a good chunk of... The only thing that we don't seemingly have here is a chest full of walls, and so let's give it some of that, right? Just give it... There we go. Of course, we are not defended on the south side. Yeah, this water is walkable, so let's throw down a couple of these. Might have just spent some of our, okay, that looks secure. Might have just spent some of our walls, because I think that was these bots putting them down. But it still has plenty. And we could always reclaim these now to get that back, so now... And this one's not robo-ported, so... Let's go... I have 5. I wonder if I can cover it with 5. Let's go roboport this. Here again makes you kind of want to use this guy. It's less efficient, but it's less mental overhead to place it. Oof. That's not nice. What if we rotate it like this? Wonder how much that messes up everything. So there's your coverage there, right? They'll come and place that. And then over here, we're not going to do a city block anytime soon anyway, so we'll just... where is that going to be? The edge of that pipe right there. And this one... So that should roboport this entire stretch here, and they should... I think they should auto-place, right? Like, they should eventually... Once they place this one, which should be on the way hopefully soon. Looks like it probably is. Once they place those up, we should have full coverage, and then let's just do a little bit of, you know. Can't do that from here. What's going on? I really just want to get back into space and go get some cryonite. Okay, this is acceptable down here. We could even do, like, I forget who suggested that in the comments, to just send the artillery train here and send it after. Give it a station. Let's just give it a temporary stop. And I know it could auto clean it up, but I don't know if that's in range is the thing. So let's give it a temp stop. Maybe it'll be in range. Who knows? See you in a minute. Looks like it's gonna be. Kind of hard to tell. No, I don't think so. That's okay. No issue. Because we can just do this. Okay, so this thing's been loading up on sulfur for a while. If we're going to do the heat shielding city block nearby, I don't know how much we need to worry about sulfur. I mean, getting sulfur on a train, right? Doesn't seem strictly necessary. Because what we could do is just put a city block here. Line it up, of course. Looks like we have enough room to get away with this here. Because now we just need stone bricks, steel plates, and sulfur. And we're done. Sulfur's right there. Stone bricks and steel plates both come on trains. So yeah, we do sulfur comes in from this side, bricks and steel plates over here, and then out the bottom. So let's grab this. Just reuse it, right? I think it can reuse the side lanes, right? So you can do that. And then you can tile it nicely. like that. Oh, and Gore said in a comment recently, and he's absolutely right, that he likes to put productivity modules in the higher end items first. That's totally true. You get so much more bang for your buck that way. I just have been... I was being a bit absent-minded, and I also did eventually do it in the science, which is kind of a very high-tier item, since it's made out of so many other items. But yes, Gort, you're absolutely right. We should have done it in the reverse order of what we did. 100%. It would have helped so much with power and stuff too. So let's get a stone brick train stop. Do we have that already? Can I get... There we go. Don't know if I have... I gotta have a drop-off for it somewhere, but it's probably one of these ugly ones. Yeah, with the train stop on the wrong side. So we'll just grab like a generic unloading station. Go from there. Wonder if we can fit this. Looks like we can. Oh, we sure can. Let's just take that out. Wait for this to get built. Same thing over there. Knock one of those out. So we said that one up there could be stone bricks. This one, what will that be? Probably steel. And then sulfur's coming from over here. Still waiting for a lot of these to get placed. I think we just kind of over pushed our network here. Let's go ahead and put even more stress on the system and toss a bunch of construction bots in there. I'm sure we have another 4 stacks. Bots, bots, bots. Where are bots? There we go. We love to see that. Go get them. Let's see how our power usage is doing. Not too bad. Roboports are definitely chewing up a good amount of it. What would help probably would be if I would place some of these manually. Oh, this one can't be placed. This is messed up. Just gotta see it's on the inside of that thing, so we gotta tear down those 2. Like that. Is that thing out of range? Did I just mess something up by doing that? Looks right. Yeah, I think I did it right. This stupid water pump messed us up. And will continue to. Gotta fix that. Gotta. Oh, no, not another one of these. Ugh. Okay, how are we doing on everything? These are getting placed slowly but surely. This is getting built. I'm going to be waiting a little bit longer. So that's going to give us heat shielding. That's a big move. And then the other thing we said that we were going to do. So we already did this. Blue belt city block. I'm kind of tempted to just get back into space now. This game is called Space Exploration. I feel like I've been scaling for a while now. Yeah, I don't know if we need to block on... I don't know if we need to block on this, honestly. Also, Gort called me a peasant. And he said, when are you going to stop being a peasant and run... Where was it? The thing is so big now. When are you going to stop being a peasant and run these potions from over here instead of ferrying them by hand and just run them to the cargo rocket? I'm highly offended by this. I like walking them there. It's a nice walk. It's a nice little, you know, nice little stroll to walk over there. So many meteors everywhere. Oh. This is alarming. What's going on here, fellas? Oh, it ran out of water because somebody disconnected the water. That should come back online though soon, right? I have cliff explosives, so I can do this. Can do that. Hopefully that fixes it, question mark? The answer is no. We're still empty over here, so we gotta go and find... Okay. This is still empty too. The icons read like it isn't, but it is empty. Aha. Nope, that was right. That was where it needed to be. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. That scared me for a minute. The bots may be slow, but they're doing their job. They sure are slow, though. Alright, let's run power to this. Get rid of all these blinkies. right. I'm sure the mall is just screaming for resources right now. Especially because of the productivity modules that are on the way. And we have one other slight wrinkle here. When we go to put these down, heat shielding actually only enters the belt up here somewhere, doesn't it? Right there. So what is this side of the bundle for? I don't even... looks free, right? And it gets used by concrete over here, sort of, but we could be wonky and just route it around. I think that should be okay. This did get placed, so this is going to be... You said this one would be stone bricks, right? Stone brick drop off. And the condition will be... yes, my biggest pet peeve. Less than 50k stone bricks. Still waiting on this train station. If I place it now, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll remember who it is. Yeah. Not that I really need it to. This one's going to be steel drop off. Similarly. And that's going to eat a lot of steel initially. That's a lot of steel. But yeah, that's rough. I don't know about all that. Maybe we drop that number. Although I can only imagine that the steel drop off over here is probably quite full. It's sitting at 95k. Of course, we never changed the condition. Huh? Okay. So that enabled condition is steel is less than 10k. I feel like that could be... let's just do 25, right? So that thing's gonna have plenty of steel for a long time to come. Make it the same thing here. Alrighty. So now we just need to... And the balancers are going to be ugly for this. I don't really care. Because there's... You know what? Maybe we should have just did... that's a toughie. Because there's 5 lanes of steel and sulfur. I wonder if that was the goofiest thing on the planet. What's the reasoning for that? What's the ratios of heat shielding? Give me one of these. It by far needs more sulfur, so if anything was going to have a dedicated lane, it'd be sulfur. And then see, stone tablets are so... They are very not compressible, right? Because isn't it like 1 to 4? Like 1 stone brick is 4 stone tablets? So... Yeah. Belt-wise, you want that direct inserting. So for sulfur and steel plate, sorry, to be clear, you want it made on site and direct inserting. You don't want to train it in or belt it in. Sulfur and steel plates are such a different story, right? How do you want to set up for that? Because if it needs 8 of them, it takes 10. I mean, we're kind of splitting hairs. One red belt can carry 15 items per lane, which could easily run more than whatever the ratio is, right? Like 20 or 18, whatever it is of these worth of heat shielding. Now, of course, it's going to be getting picked from both sides, so this is actually almost the perfect ratio. And then when you go to blue belts, you definitely won't have a problem. So I'm gonna well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tear all this down and redo it a bit, and that's gonna hurt my feelings really bad, but when we come out the other side, we'll feel better. I'll feel better. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself. Wow. That's like peeling the sticker off of a new piece of electronics in terms of satisfaction level for me. Okay, let's get rid of all these long-handed inserters. Where were they going with this? What are they? Oh, they're going down there. Oh, I hope they have enough energy to make it next time. All right. There's one downside to this. We probably want to do the steel like over here or down here or something, given that we intend to mix a belt. All right, guys, bring those back, okay? Oof. Don't need any of this. Wow, these are gonna... Well, at least they can make it across that expanse if they charge up close enough to it. That's good. And then... Oh, no. Well, we'll have more the next time in storage or whatever. Let's figure out how we're gonna mix this. This is already loaded up now, so forget doing anything about it now. So we want to do 5 belts of... Oh, that really makes that splitter want to be facing the other direction. Right? I think it does. Do I just have no construction bots on me? Oh no, I turned off my RoboPort. That's why they're not helping. So... decisions. Couple ways to do this. I think what I'll do... See, because I wanted to go to both. So every lane, every belt that comes out of this, I kind of want to split and send to its own 4x4 balancer. So actually, we can put this back. Kind of conflicted on how to do it. Whoa. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. I think. Maybe. So for every output belt that we have here, I'm going to split it off, and it's going to seem kind of weird, but... So like this one, I'm going to split that. Part of it will go up here, feed that, and then the other part will go... And this is a mess. When we go to reuse this, we'll probably have to revisit this. Okay, so then you got your 4 of that. And then we make some beautiful spaghetti. Again, let's get rid of these 2 things. They are not needed. So let's do stone bricks first. It's actually a bit alarming because then where are we gonna... Okay, so there's that one. Uh-oh. No. Actually, though, I have a really good place now to steal fuel from. There you go. It's right there. Okay. So now that'll all be in there. Does leave a bit of a pickle. We have to mix the belts somewhere and then get them everywhere. And we actually still need 5 of them, so that's not good. Oh well. It'll come out in the wash, I don't care. So, how could we mix them? If you had a sulfur belt coming in right here, right? Then you had... Well, actually for this one you'd want to bring the steel all the way over. Like that. Okay, so there's number... there's number 1. Number 2... And this is where we're going to cheat. Right here. It's not perfect, but we have heat shielding output, and it's a heck of a lot more than we made back at our base. I think I'm going to do a pickup station, then I'm going to call it. Actually, I got to think about where I want to tie these off. I might want to extend them. Okay, so there's more. And, you know, we could... I get a little nervous about fitting everything. Let's see with the station there first. So we need a pickup station. Here's one. Always forget that last power pole. Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. Although, could almost kind of squeeze it, but it's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. Okay. It's gonna be heat shielding pickup. Oh, no. Yeah, get out of here. You're in the wrong place. And then the condition will be more than 10k heat shielding. I'm gonna call that done. They're not getting delivered yet, but we're gonna make that a new, much smaller task to take care of. Okay. And we're gonna call it. All right. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time to join. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. It really means a lot to me and it helps the channel a lot. You can also join our Discord. There's lots of cool discussions happening in there. I know that we're not really space exploring right now, but that's going to change soon. We might have one more episode of getting some last steps done down here, but heat shielding and sulfur were some of the biggest issues we were seeing. So I'm pretty hopeful that from here on out, the next thing is going to be cryonite. With things the way that they were on the space platform with the mirrors and stuff and the power situation down here, I just can't see going there yet. But we're close. We should be going to get cryonite soon. So thanks again for joining, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.